Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lulu Tech Designs, and I'm your boy Lulu Mark. We are back with a new project, and today we are going to use archicad to design our first floor plan. So this video is basically about designing a floor plan. You'll be able to understand how to move the wall, how to do alignment, how to measure, and all those stuffs using archicad. I am going to use archicad 28. I think that is the latest version of archicad, but even if you have 25, 27, 26 and below, they can still do the same work. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive into the software and start creating our first floor plan. So when you are here on the software, we have this interface. That is the first interface you will see when you have just opened archicad 28 or any other archicad. So along this line, it shows home, recent, new, open, teamwork, and all these stuffs. And of course, the bigger interface is showing what is on the home page, or it is basically displaying what you see on your left here. So you can either click new from here or you can click from here. So when I click new, I will be able to open a new project. So we'll wait for this to open up. So it will disappear as if it has crashed, but that is how archicad behaves sometimes. It will still open the software. So you give it some little time. Plus my computer is also a little bit slower. That's why the user takes more time to open up like this. So now, once the software is back, all you need to do is just to click on this new. So this is the process of opening a new project in archicad. It comes with all the libraries. That's why it keeps loading the library, and this usually takes some bit of time. So you have to be patient with the software. Unlike Revit, where you download the libraries online, it opens a little bit faster, but for archicad, all the libraries are inbuilt, so it takes some time to open up, loading the libraries. So now the software has opened up, so we shall simply close this. You can say remind me later, or you simply close it here. So this is the interface of archicad 28. On our left, you are going to see all the tool menus. We have design, we have viewpoint and document. These are the major tool menus that we are going to use. Up here, we also have the toolbars. Mostly these ones come out depending on what you are doing. So every time you select a specific tool to use, it will come up with the properties. So the properties will appear up here. And on our right, we have, of course, the project browser and all those stuffs, the project map, and all those other stuffs that you'll need for setting up your project. So, for example, the first one here, the PC is really so slow today. This interface is still loading. So now, as you can see on our right, the first menu is for the project map. Then we have the view map, we have the layout book, and of course the publisher sets. So you'll use these ones depending on the conditions that you have at hand. But we're interested in our project map. We shall click here. So from this project map, you will be able to set up your floor plans, the levels, and the stories. You can either call them story or levels, but for archicad, it's called stories. So if you want to set up your stories, you just right click on any of the stories. You come to this last part that says story settings. So from here, you'll be able to set the stories. Now I can simply write a name here. Let's say the roof. Let's say the roof, or maybe the first level. Then here we can have the roof. Now this is the elevation. The elevation shows you how high the levels are. So I can decide to, by default it is 3 meters. If you want to change, you can change here. Let's say I want 3.5. Then this goes to 7 meters. And then of course now you'll see the floor to floor height will of course change. So now this is supposed to be level 0. This is supposed to be 0. This is 3.5. Then this is 7 meters. Okay. .5. Yeah, now it is okay. So if you want to input more levels, because what we have done is basically just changing the names and giving the elevation heights. So you can use these buttons to either insert above or insert below or delete story. So I want to insert one level below the ground level. So I'll say insert below. I'll click on this button. So this can be our foundation. So I'll just name this foundation, and this I can give it 1.5, just like that. So you realize this one keeps adding the floor to floor heights. Then here you can be able to input the figures you want. So if you're okay with this floor plan, I mean the story setting, you just click OK. So from here we can now start creating our floor plan. We have already set the stories. You can now start planning. So the first thing you are going to do is to come to your design, which is on the left. This part here, you click on this drop down. You will see all these tools. There's the wall tool, column, door, slab, all these tools. These are the tools that you use for designing your house. So we are basically going to use the wall tool. And of course, the wall tool, when I double click on it, it will be able to show me the properties, the wall settings. And if I just select it and I come to this part and I click, it will still bring me back to the wall default settings. So we shall just do some basic settings here because we're interested basically in creating our floor plan. We're not interested in seeing how the wall is going to stand up. So we shall drop down the geometry positioning. We want our home story to be the ground floor, not the foundation. Then the first or the top link, we shall put it to not linked so that we can have control over this wall height. Because if we select a specific top link, it will basically lock this up because the height will depend on what you have selected on the top link. So if we have chosen not linked, it will give us the freedom to change anything here. Then this side, I'm going to select this first option so that I can be able to also manipulate this wall thickness. So the wall thickness, let's say we're just using 200. This is the basic setup I want to have here. And then the reference line, I'm going to put center. I'm going to put center of the wall. And then let's go to the model. In the model here, you can simply change the materials. So I'll click this icon so that this can become active. I click on this, this becomes active, even this. So if you want to change floor plan, you just drop there, you can search, material, I'm sorry. If you want to change the material, you can just click here and search for the material you want. You can just input the name, it will be able to show you. But basically, I'm interested in this stucco. But here I can decide to say I want, let's just say paint. You can see all these paints will appear here. So I can select any. Now I have this button that links surface. So if I click on it, all the surfaces will take up what you have selected in the first option. So now all of them are glossy white. When I unlink, you realize this first one is white fine, this one is glossy, then the last one is white paint. You can have multiple or you can link them up depending on your preference. So now that this one is done, I'll simply click OK because that is the basic setup I wanted for the wall. Now let's start creating our floor plan. Let's assume we're going to create 3 bedrooms. So let me just, you can click from one point, then you just move your mouse. Now you realize what I've selected is this box. This is the geometry method of construction, but I don't want this. I'm going to click on this drop down. I'll select this first option so that it will only draw a line. Now, to create a straight line, you have to hold on Shift. It will have your line in a straight path. Now, from here, I'll just close this. Now, you realize this information is coming from the point that we are drawing our floor or our wall on a different level, which is supposed to be the ground level, but we're doing it in foundation. So I'll click continue, but I'll come to my ground floor. From here, you'll see we have it here. So now our first wall is here. It's not supposed to be in the foundation. It's supposed to be the ground floor where you start drawing your walls from. So you can still measure when you're drawing. So from here, I may simply want to just draw another vertical wall. I'll click here. I'll just draw a wall here. Now, if you want to measure, you can simply just start writing. Let's say I want this to be 10 meters. I'll just write 10 meters and click enter. Then I don't know why it keeps going to the foundation level. Let me see where this one has gone. It has again gone to the first floor. So you can select it from here using your arrow. I'll select this. Then I'll come to this linked home stories. Or if you can't see it here, you can hold your Control T. It will take you to the basic wall setting. You come to the geometry. You're going to change this home story to ground floor, then OK. Say continue. So now when I come to my ground floor, I should be able to see the wall here. Now these two walls can help us design the rest of the walls. So if I want to just let's say offset this, I want to move this by some distance, I'll simply come to Control Shift D. That one will create a copy of this wall. Or if you can't remember that, you right click. Let me first cancel this. Let me just now, after selecting the wall, you can right click, then you come to move, then you say drag a copy. So you can see that shortcut I use, it is Control Shift D to drag a copy. If you just want to drag the entire wall, you just do Control D. That one will drag it or move it from the current position. But I want to drag a copy. So from here, I will just pick the wall and drag it. To drag a copy, and the distance, we can now give it here. Let's say I want this to be 5 meters. I'll write 5 millimeters. I'll write 5,000 millimeters to give me 5 meters. But of course, it will be less by that because 200 goes off to the thickness of the wall. So I'll click on this. I can write 5,000 millimeters from here. So this is how you drag a copy of a component. So I can do the same. Let's say this is going to be, we're doing basically our master bedroom. So I can drag this one. Let's say I'm going to drag Control Shift D. I'll also drag this by 5 meters, just like that. Then I'll drag it again, let's say by 3 meters, Control Shift D, 3 meters, something like that. Now we need to remove these excess parts. The first option is to highlight both of them. Then I'll come to this intersect. It will intersect them like this. And then for things like this, for this, I can simply do something like this. You select, you come to this point which says adjust. The shortcut is Control plus minus. Then I'll click on it. I'll just click the part where I want it to come. It will just chop off the excess part, and it links up with the point where you have clicked. So you can do the same for this side. You just select it, you come to this intersect. Then I want it to intersect with this point of the wall. That is it. Then this I can simply, since I still want to use this wall this side, I'll leave it like that. Now let's assume we have created our master bedroom here, plus the master suite. So we're going to create our, let's say, living room this side. So I'll simply offset this wall by dragging a copy. I'll say Control Shift D. Then I'll move this by, let's say, since we had the master bedroom 5 by 5, we can do this 6 meters because it has to be bigger than the master bedroom. So I'll just simply click here and put it 6 meters, simply like that. Then this wall here, we don't want it in the middle here. So you can just come to this split. You click on the split, you click from one point to the other. Then you can click any side. So now I can simply pick this black dot and drag. Can drag something like that. And then let's move this one to this point. I'll use the adjust, I mean. I'll bring it to this point, something like that. Then we need to create 2 more bedrooms, of course, plus the kitchen and all those stuffs. So let's look for where we can create another bedroom. I think the next bedroom has to be around here. It has to be around here. So I am going to extend this wall. I'll hold this black point and drag. You can drag and name the distance you want, or you simply drag according to how you feel. Of course, you can easily delete it up later. Then perhaps I can also just come to adjust and I take this one to this point like that, so that when I click here, let me first even come to my adjust and I bring this one to this point, so that when I click, it's supposed to give me the measurement here like that. So this is supposed to be 5 by 5. And then yeah, supposed to be 5 by 5. So we can have another bedroom here. And then let's see how we can achieve that. And the door is going to be here. So let's have this wall. I think I'll just extend this wall here. You just simply click on the black dot and you start dragging it. And also the option for stretching is here. So I keep saying dragging, but the stretch can also be the term you use. So now I don't want this one to be 5 meters. So I can simply Control Shift D to drag a copy of it. I'll bring it here. Now I can do this measurement. I'll say I want this one to be, let's say 3.2, because it's going to be a smaller bedroom. So I'll bring this one back. I'll come to adjust. I'll bring it back to this point here. Not that. So if that one refuses, I'll just simply drag it like that. Then this one we shall also Control Shift D to drag another copy. This side we are going to do 3.4 because we want to get 3.2. Remember, the 200 will be taken away by the thickness of the wall. That's why I've put 3.4. So just like that, you can see here we're getting 3.2. So I'll hold both of them and I'll intersect so that I can get that angle there. Then for this, I'll come to adjust and I'll just adjust it to this part here. So now we have this bedroom. This is the common one. I mean, this is the master washroom. This wall has to leave this space and I bring it to here. Simply like that. And then I need the washroom here. So I think I will change the orientation of this room to stretch a little bit this side. I don't know. But let's first have a washroom. I'll Control Shift D to drag a copy of this wall. I want it to be a washroom of, let's say, 1.8. That will give us 1.6. Yeah. And then I'll drag this, or maybe that. Control Shift D. I'll still do 1.8 to get 1.6. Something like that. So when I click this, I can simply drag it to this point. I hope you still remember holding Shift if you want to get a straight point. I'll adjust using the adjust. I'll use this. No, it's deselect all. I'm going to drag this instead of using the adjust tool, just like that. Now this, I'm going to split it using the split tool. It is not a straight split. Let me just use the split tool also here. I'm going to delete this. Then I'll bring this one here. Then here I'll also split. After selecting it, use the split tool. Then I'll delete this part. Then I'll bring this one here by simply stretching it. So now we have this bedroom. This is the common washroom. Then this is common washroom. This is the master washroom. Then this is the master bedroom. So we're going to do something here. We're going to split this wall like that. Then I think it's supposed to be, I need to create a space in the middle here, not, I'll Control Z to undo. Then I'll just simply come to split. I'll split here. And then I can drag this part around there. So you can have this distance to yourself, let's say 1.2 as it is suggested. Then this will lead people to this area because this is an area for one bedroom and this other bedroom and the common washroom. So it has to be a little bit enclosed. So this will be the setup for this side. And then this one here. So let's say this is going to be our our sitting room, lounge, living room, the way you love to call it. Let's have it all the way this side. So I'm going to link this to this. I'll just select this and hold Shift. Then I will come to intersect. I will intersect them like that. So I can delete this one off. Then I can select both of them. Then I will intersect again. Now we have created 2 bedrooms so far. We need 1 more bedroom. And let's say it's going to be a guest wing. Now we need to think where we want to have it because we need to create kitchen and stuff. So I'm going to have another bedroom around here. So I'll offset or I'll copy this, Control Shift D. I'll drag a copy here. Let's have it at 3.4 to get 3.2. Then I want this wall to extend to that. I want this wall to extend to that. I don't know. I think that is too much outside. Let's have it. Let's have this side 2 meters. Let's say just 2 meters here. 2 meters like that because I don't want it to overstretch outside. I'll select this, hold Shift, select that, and then use the intersect to intersect them like that. Then I'll drag Control Shift D. I'll do 3.4 here to get 3.2. I'll select both. I'll intersect, I guess. And then this one here, I need to split this wall. I'll come to split tool. I'll split. Then I'll have maybe that. Bring it here. I'll also bring this one here. Now we need to create a wall for this one here. So I'm going to drag a copy of this wall, Control Shift D. I'll simply bring it here. Then this one I can now make it a 3.2. And then I can simply move this one to this side so that I'll hold shift to get a straight line. So now we have this bedroom. Now we need to create our kitchen. We need to create our kitchen. I still feel I can align this to this so that they can balance up. So to align, you can, let me see if I can get it, if I can do it with this adjust. Let me say I'm bringing it here. You select this, you click adjust, come and draw, supposed to draw a line there. Let me just, so I'll simply move it. I'll just drag. This time I'll do Control D and I drag. So now this distance is too much. I'll bring that one inside 3.2 so that we can have something like that. This has to intersect. This has to intersect. So that this one here aligns together with this so that we don't have a lot of issues when it comes to grid lines. So now here I'm going to create our kitchen is going to be around here. This room is going to use this common washroom. This one will use this common washroom. This one will be for the master. So if you want to do your measurements, I guess it is time for us to keep measuring now, or we can measure later. We can put the line dimension lines later. So let's have the kitchen here. I'm going to extend it a little bit outside. Let's say, let me see this distance. This is 2.6. Of course, I'm going to chop off this wall. I'll split it here. Let me drag it a little bit outside because I want this one to increase. I'm going to have this, let's say 4 meters outside. Then I'll select both and intersect like that. So I can drag this, Control Shift D. I want to put it around here. Then I will select that, I will select this, I will intersect. That's not how I want it to be. So I will drag this. If one option fails, you try the other. So let me try and intersect again. Still the same thing. So I can simply just drag this inside. By the way, you can also delete. I have not shown you the delete tool. I can select this, or without even selecting, when I hold Ctrl, then I click on this part, it will simply split or delete the excess part. For example, I can do the same with the Ctrl, I delete that. So that is also another way of removing excess part. I can control, just use a scissor to do away with that. Things like that, like this. So that is also another way that I have not shown you before. So now let's have, we shall have this wall extend a little bit inside, because this is going to be our, we're going to create, let's create here 1.5, not from this side, from here, let's say we're having 1.5, I guess. Because here we're going to have the pantry, you can call it the store, a small store here. Control Shift D to drag a copy of this wall. Just there, this one I want it to be 0. So this one I want it to be 1.2. Just like that. Then I can intersect this. Then I'll bring this wall inside. Just drag and bring it inside. I want this part to be open. This one should be around 800 or 900 as an open door to bring things inside to the store. So this side is going to be the kitchen. Let's say we want to have it at 3 meters so that there's a lot of space for movement. Then this we can intersect them. This I guess can now intersect, yeah, something like that. So now we have, let's come to document. This is where you get your dimension line from here. Now you click, after selecting your dimension line, you click from one angle like that to the other like this. Then you come inside, you double click and you click again. It will give you the dimension. You click one angle, you click another angle, you come inside, you double click, you click again, you get your dimension just like that. So you can now do the same for all these rooms. Like that. Click one, click another, you double click, click again, you'll have your measurements. Click one, click another one, you double click, click again to have that. Click one angle, click another angle, you double click inside, you click again to have that. So you're supposed to measure all the rooms here, here, like that. Have your measurement. You click here, you click here, double click inside, you click again to have that measurement. Click here, double click, click again. So that is how you do your alignment, dimensions using archicad. All the spaces are supposed to be measured just like that. Even this and this are supposed to be measured. Then this room, this pantry or our small store has to be measured. And then the kitchen, just click on that. So this one is giving us both the kitchen and of course the wall thickness. Doesn't matter, we can do away with any that we don't want. So here I want to, before I measure for this, I want to bring this one a little bit outside because I don't want it to align directly with the master bedroom. So I'm going to split this wall using the split tool. Split here. Then I'll drag this one to this point like that. And then this one here, I'm going to drag it or just use this measurement tool. I'll put it, let's say, 10 meters. Or this, I can bring it to 1.5. Around there, I can intersect this. Then I'll click this, I'll click this, I'll come to intersect them like that. Now I can come to my dimension, I'll measure them. Simple like that. So this one is going to start from here and here. Since we want a perfect figure, I'll need to change something here. I'll remove the 13. So 13 minus from this, I don't know what that will be. But here you're supposed to get a perfect measurement so that you don't struggle. You don't give the engineers a lot of headache when they are measuring this. So this will be around 6 meters up. We'll do away with this 13. So I think the measurements are done. All we need is now the wall openings. All we need is the wall openings. By wall openings, I basically mean the doors, the windows, stuffs like that. I think this is a good floor plan. So we have 3 bedrooms. This is the living room or the lounge. Then here we have the kitchen. The kitchen is going to be basically around this part here. Then we can have this area as our dining room or dining area. Then here you can have this bedroom, which can be for the maid. And then this can be for the kids, because the maid's bedroom is supposed to be close to the kitchen. Then this can be the kids' bedroom. Then this is going to be our master bedroom. So let's have our wall openings, basically the doors and the windows. You'll get them in design. So you just come to door, you double click on it, you'll have the door menu. I mean the door menu. So let's have the first door, that is the door, the main door. So it's going to be door with 2 sliding. Maybe we can have that. I'll bring it here. Just have it around here. Simply you place it like that. And then we need interior doors now, since we already have exterior door. I'll double click on doors again. I'll look for a smaller door like this one here. I'll simply click OK. I'll now put them, have this here. These ones are supposed to open from the inside. This one is for this washroom, like that. And then for this bedroom, like this. And then for this part, like that. And then we need another door around here. This door will be for moving things from the kitchen to outside, also to the store. And then we need a door here to the master washroom. So you click on the arrow if you want to select any of these. Now these doors, we have basically placed them without doing any edits on them. But of course, you can also edit. You can simply select the door. Then you Control T to open the door settings. Now from here you can do a lot of editing from this side. So first of all, you see the width of the door, the height. So the height, we are going to change it to 2.5. The home story, this means the door will be 100 millimeters above the ground floor. So it will have some opening down there. So if you don't want this, you change it. Then we can come to this hinge. So from here, you can change a lot of things. For example, if you want to add grids, you can add them from here. And then the door handle, you can select the type of handle you want from here. Let's say we just want this. If you're okay with what you have selected, you can use these arrows to move to the next. So here you can do the door frames. You can change a lot of things here if you wish to. Click the next. So all these are changes that you can make to have a custom door. So I'll change things here. For example, the door frames outside. Let's say want aluminum instead of wood. Door frame inside still the same, aluminum instead of wood. And then the leaf outside, the leaf I can say I still want aluminum. And then the leaf inside I can say I still want aluminum. Then the leaf glass is glass. I can choose a different glass. I want blue glass. I want blue glass. Then the handle is metal, aluminum here. So this is how the the door looks on the floor plan. So if you don't want these colors, you can change, but I have no problem with the colors. So if you're okay with this, you click next, you change things you want to change here. So with these options, you can actually create a custom door. Then if I'm okay with this, I'll just click OK. It will change all this. Now you can basically see that in a 3D. But of course, let's first change for this. For you to select it, you come closer, click there, then you Control T to get the menu. I want to change some things specifically. I'm going to change things here. So I'll just be selecting aluminum, then aluminum. Here we have this blue glass. Here we have this blue glass. Then here we have this. So I'll simply click OK. So when we come to this 3D, we should be able to see this kind of thing. So this will be the door. And then I think I don't want that still height from home story, which is 100. Can get it in the preview. This one here, I don't want it. Can have that so that the door starts from down. So yeah, this will work for us. So this is how you do your floor plans. So if you want to name these rooms, it's again simple. Now we have, when you come to documents, you can come to this text. When I click here, I should be able to get my names. Let's say master bedroom. So I'll just say okay. I'll have that. I can still adjust. I can drag this like this, something like that. Then I can do the same. I'll just now copy this, because I'll just drag a copy, Control Shift D, bring it here. Then I'll double click to get my text tool. I'll change this to living room. Something like that. So you can do this for all other rooms and have them labeled. So this is how you do these things. Control Shift D to the master washroom. I'll double click. I'll have my text. I'll write here master shoot, just like that. Yeah, that is how you can rename or label these rooms. We have already given them their alignments or dimensions. We have given the names. You can also change the font style, all these things. You can change them here. You can change the font you want. Let's say I want Arial narrow. Can change something like that. If you want a different font, you still change the way you want. See that you can change all these things from here. Then I can say the font size, I'm going to change it from here. Then the bold, I can take it away, things like that. And then the color of the text, I can change it to black. See that? So this is basically how you can do these things. From here, it's now really a walkover. It's a pretty easy thing to do. So I believe you have learned a lot from this project. Basically, we wanted to understand how we can create a floor plan using archicad. For if you want to put windows, we have already put those, but we have not put windows. So you come to design, you go to windows. The same way you did those, you have windows here. I have these windows, I can simply select one, I'll just place them. Place, place, and you place all over. You can just place these windows in all the rooms, just like that. So basically that is how you do it. And then of course if you want to edit, you just can select one. Let me get closer to it. Still not now that is selected. You Control T to get the settings, and the same way you did your settings in Do, you can change the width, the height, then the home story, you can change them here. Then when you get down, you also change a lot of the designs from here. All these can help you to edit whatever thing you want to edit. The window frame, the glass type, all those you can do from here. So that is how you can edit your windows. I'll not really do much here, but I believe that is what we wanted to achieve in this project. Please, if you have learned a lot from here, make sure you subscribe to Lulu Tech Designs. And I think from me to you, I'll say bye-bye for now. See you again in the next project. And I would like to know what you love to learn again, if it is Revit or archicad, and what should we bring in Revit or archicad. Please make sure you write it down in the comment section so that we can prepare and plan for you, and we'll bring for you another set of projects. So thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye.